Okay, folks, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Where are my super readers at? There they are. All right. We're going to attempt to get some stuff off the table today. And the first thing I'm going to do is, let's get this T26 the hell out of here. It needs to be somewhere else doing something. I do have that stuff up here, don't I? I do. Okay. We probably have to turn this fan off. Yeah, because this stuff's going to go flying. Let's get some Elmer's glue up here. Elmer's glue all. And we're going to put some grass on here and some shrubbery, one that's not very expensive. And then we can get this guy out of here. Let's put that back. And let's use a brush that. That one's actually pretty decent. That one's actually pretty decent. This is not a good model. It's also very inexpensive. I think it looks okay. It's just not a very high quality model. It's by a company called Mini Irons. I believe they're a Spanish company. And their main focus is vehicles for the Spanish Civil War. And there's several of these, we'll call them open projects, that I need to wrap up. Now, I forgot how much I paid for this. It was pretty inexpensive, and I ended up using a credit from Noble Knight. Okay, and we've got some of these bushes that are here. We're going to use up those before we pull some more off. Let's get some more Elmer's out here. Okay, here's the other pattern one. Let's see if we can't cut that into some smaller pieces here. Okay, now the cool thing about this T26 is it came with some extra modifications that you could build, and I decided to build them all. So this is the standard 45mm gun turret. But if you replace it with this little piece here, and then you put this turret on top of it, this is the flamethrower turret. Oh! This is the flamethrower turret. And you could turn into an OT-130. And if you take these two pieces off, because these go together, and you put this piece and you can put these two turrets on here, you can make the earliest version of this tank which some of them were still around in Barbarossa as a pair of machine guns. So I didn't want to choose, and once I saw that this comes like on a plate, I'm like, I'm just going to do all the versions. And now we can put it in the case with all the versions here. We're going to put it over here in T26 land. This is the third T26 I have. It's definitely the crudest. And just to kind of show you, this is the one from, this is the model from, what are they called? Pegasus. And this is the one from Mini Irons. And you can see there's a lot less details on this one. And I'm going to take this turret here. And these two guys here. And now that's complete. All right, what else do we have waiting in the wings? 3 more Soviet vehicles. A pair of T-28s and an Su-152. They're even based and everything. They just need to have the grass and such put on there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right. And I mean, I was just on the cusp of finishing these guys up for a long time. These are the T28s in 1/87th scale. They cost me $1. So even though they run a little small, they're a little on the small side. I don't plan on having any T28s or T35s by any other manufacturer other than this one. Put one up here towards the front of the vehicle. I think there's actually a piece of this that's sticking out. Let's trim that off. Go ahead and close the door. I think laundry's a little loud. Okay, might be a slow night. Okay, so this white 166 T28 is good to go. Why white? Well, the numbers are in white. I already have two of them. Okay, the next T28. This is okay. Now, we're out of the ones that we had left over. So let's pull. I mean, it's literally the same thing. It's just we have some that were out that we didn't use. So this is lowland shrubs, at least for this particular style, and dark green shrubs from gamer's grass. All right, so this big one, a relatively large space over here. We didn't put one in that back corner, did we? No. Okay. We don't want them all look the same. That's annoying. Okay, on this side we're going to put one. I'm going to put a little one here. And another one there. There will not be a painting show tomorrow. I can tell you that already. It's my day to stay late, and who knows how long I'm going to be at work for. Probably close to 9 p.m. I'm not going to be in any condition to be doing this shit when I get back. Okay. Now this one's complete. That's 4 T28s. Okay. Now the big boy. We don't have a lot of space here on the side, so we're just going to settle for putting some grass here. We can put one underneath here in the front. And really have nothing but praises to say about this. This is the first trumpeter model ever built, except for no option to make any of the hatches open. So, if you want to put commander figures, some of these trumpeter models are, I mean, they're really well done, except that, you know. So, except for that part. We're gonna put a shrubbery down here. One that's not too expensive. And we'll put another one towards the back. Okay. And this guy's got ready to go. The headlamp turned out well on that. I do like painting the headlamps. this guy has got to go next to the JSU 152. And in case you're wondering what the difference is between them, this is a KV base vehicle, KV hull base vehicle, and this is a JS base vehicle. Okay. What else do we got that is nearly should have been finished? Well, these guys are sealed. Those guys are sealed, but they are not. They have not been mounted yet. So let's do that next. We can put these guys here. So I should have 5 of these are all the same size. And here's the other one too, the brum bar. So the brum bar, the Stug 3G, which weighs a metric ton, and the 3 Panzer IIIs. This is the stands for all of them. So unfortunately, I probably waited a little longer than I should have, which means this is probably going to be rock hard. But, you know, if I wait longer, it's just going to be even rock harder. So, I'll start off with a Mr. Stug. And we'll get our scooper and scoop this stuff out. See how difficult it is to get this stuff off. Oh man, this is brutal on your fingers. And yeah, we're gonna have to make this a little bit bigger. This channel that the tracks sit on. Okay, other than this needing to go up a little bit farther forward. If I put this next to the other Stug I have, which is a little on the small size, it's just going to look ridiculous. Okay, that's about right. Let's move to the other side. Let's get rid of the dried goop. And now let's expand this a little bit bigger. That's pretty good. We'll call that one done. And we'll finish up epoxying those on there. So then we can start next time with just putting the grass on there and get these guys the hell out of here. Now, the second batch of these Germans, like this Tiger one, this particular martyr, they're not done yet. They're not sealed, so I'm probably not going to seal them until I do all the rest of these guys. Oh, we found where the white glue was. Well, that's really not that much of a problem because we're going to dip this thing in epoxy anyways. And this is a hell of a lot easier than gluing these guys down and then trying to get the goop everywhere. This is a much better method. The only thing that it's been a few weeks since I've built these, and this stuff keeps getting harder and harder. But I just got sidetracked with other stuff. It happens. Okay, the tracks are significantly wider than that, so let's go ahead and expand that now. Okay, that side's good and matches up well there. Okay, 2 down. Huh. Stuff. This one popped up. That one fits on there as well. Try to standardize the sizes as much as I can. Like I want all the Panzer IV chassis. Actually, all the Panzer IVs and all the Panzer IIIs are all in the same footprint. This one's a little on the larger size, and it fits on here just fine. Whatever happened to the die-cast Panzer IV I have? Are we painting that one? Yeah, oh, okay, here it is. No. And I think, did I airbrush this one? I don't remember if I did or not. Yeah, this is the old Matchbox one. Matchbox Dinky. like all these martyrs that are on the bottom of a Czech 38, they're going to be just on the same size stand that a Czech 38 is. Just saw a video about German Volkssturm. Too little, too late for them. Yep, that's some interesting plastic figures for Volkssturm. I saw it came up on my feed. We must be subscribed to the same guy, whoever it was. Who was it, by the way? I didn't get around to seeing it. I've been too busy. I did watch a couple of videos that somebody did pretty quick about painting some aircraft. We're going to take a break on the aircraft for a little bit. I need to clear some of these things that have been sitting here for a while. Yeah, I don't have any Volkssturm figures or Hitler Youth or anything like that. Nazi scouts. World War II in real time. Yeah. I don't remember which channel that is. That indie guy's channel or whatever. His name's something like that. Okay. So much stuff out there to watch. Indie? Yeah. Indie! Let's take a little bit off of here. Okay, that one's good to go. I showed up. I subscribed to his channel relatively late. I didn't hear about him until not that long ago, meaning maybe a year or something like that. And he was well along on the World War II stuff. And I went back and started watching his videos in order. And he covers everything. He's got a lot of detail. He's got a lot more detail than I would have thought that he had initially. Stuff that you can just kind of listen to, and it's like, oh, I remember that. Okay, well, let me learn a little bit more about that. Maybe not use necessarily his video like everything you're gonna learn about the subject, but at least it kind of opens your, the pores in your brain to kind of, process other stuff. So. Anti-tank weapons could be effective for them against tanks, but fire had to be in close range. Yeah, you get hit by a Panzerfaust, you're toast. Panzerfaust pretty much can take out anything. It could even take like a King Tiger out to the front. But you gotta be close. Like, submachine gun effectiveness distance. Although probably more effective to be like range like a pistol. Although you got to be careful because it could do some nasty damage or something, and the next thing you know, you're wearing it. That's one of those subjects that doesn't get a whole lot of coverage. The Volksturm and Company. Just a matter of hitting. You hit, you're going to do some catastrophic damage. You ever met anybody that does YouTube videos? I don't mean me. I'm small change. I mean like people that do a lot of videos. Somebody says, "What's the most famous person you've ever met?" Well, other than Phil Barker, and by met I mean talk to him. I really didn't even talk to Phil that much, not because I didn't want to. It was just he was just visiting at Historicon. Don't fire them inside of a vehicle. Don't let your buddy stand behind you when you're firing it. He's going to get a facial. And the last one. Yeah, I don't really want to meet famous people because I just suspect that they're not like they are in the video. You think you know them because you've watched a lot of their videos, but then in real life they're somebody totally different. Oh man, I forgot to look how to get rid of that star, that heart. Alan Fritz. I know who he is. Is he still doing videos? I'm subscribed to his channel, but he does a really good job of explaining shit, games and stuff. I'm not that good at that. You know, I'm maybe if I had like an outline. Yeah, he's got a lot of subscribers. I haven't watched him in a while. I think he's doing that, or he was doing that, kind of like as his job. I don't know. As much as I dislike going to work, I don't want to turn my hobby into a job. I've done that. I learned that really early on. Like when I was 19 years old. Like, not a... Alan Fritz, or is it Curtis? Just tell me what your real name is. We have the company that I work for. The main company has the last name of the owner. It always did. And when they moved the facility here in Florida, it had a different name. And then they've grown by having other locations throughout the country. It's a handful, 6 or 7. And they all had a different name, and it was really confusing for them. Just to kind of, they'd go and they'd go to these shows and they'd be confused people didn't know they were all the same company. So what they did is they renamed them all as the same name as the owner. So they just, oh, well, did you guys get bought out? I said, no, we're just called what we should have always been called from the get-go. So I didn't want to start doing something where the other thing is if you come up with a handle, it's like, you got to think really long and hard who you're going to be. Because you're like stuck doing that. Even worse than like, an Xbox handle. Like, oh man, I got to decide what it's going to be. It's just easier just to use my real name, That way there's no confusion. And I'm not one that I would say something on this channel and then wouldn't say it in real life. I'm actually nicer on this channel than in real life. The Skylab is here. He does a great job of that. He used to do paint and chat, but haven't seen one in a while. Yeah, that's what he was doing them all the time. That's where I got the idea for doing this. I'm like, I just don't want to be lonely. I'm bored. I'm bored just doing this by myself. And so the fact that anybody tunes into this is just a miracle. Yeah, but he's got some kind of sleep problem, because what would happen is I would notice this. He'd start like a paint and chat like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, okay, he's always on at 8s. Like the next day it'd be like 9, and then the next day it'd be like 10. And he'd go through all the hours of the day, which I guess is handy if you're going to get people from Europe to sign in there. But it wasn't like it was always on Eastern Standard Time. He lives on Eastern Standard Time. He lives up in Pennsylvania. But he'd rotate through all the hours. And I guess that's kind of interesting, but I can't do that sort of thing. But I got a standard, mostly standard hour job. Although I've gone in a couple Sundays now. Not for a really long time, but just to get shit done while nobody's there. Although I went in last Sunday, somebody was actually there. I was like, what the hell? We got to come in on Easter Sunday just so you don't run into somebody? Okay, I think we need to expand this a little bit. I got something really cool in the mail today, and I shot a video of it, did an unboxing of it. Hope to get that video out soon. I'm probably not going to work on it for a little bit. We need to get this area under control. I really don't want to take all these things and put them back. I don't want to be like, okay, that was fun, let's put them back and get them later. I'm like, they're already out here, let's work on them. The other thing I have can wait. Okay, I think that's good. So we're going to mix up some epoxy and epoxy these things down. So that way when we revisit this stuff, they'll already be here. Ready to roll. Let's get a... we can just use... No, every time I do that, I end up screwing myself. Let's use... let's use a little piece of cardboard. Are these for a game? Eventually. Let's just say they can be for a game. My big motivator isn't to get this done so that I can play this game. I may get these done and not play the game. But they can be used in a game. But work's got to slow down. I don't know how everybody else is, but at least around here, man, everybody's balls to the walls busy. It's exhausting. So sit there and learn rules on my spare time. Just work's kind of died down a little bit. I mean, we're 3 times busier than we've ever been, volume-wise. So I like people that say, "Oh, but that's a good sign, right?" Well, not if all your money goes into therapy. You're going to file for Social Security retirement, then might be able to enjoy painting and gaming more. Yeah, I'm a ways away from that, unfortunately. I'm a decade and a half. I can't wait. All right, now where is that needle that we had over here? Here we go. And it's not that I don't have time to do it. I just don't have motivation. Sometimes, you're just exhausted. Exhausted from the interruptions and exhausted from solving all the problems. Just one problem after another, and I'm just glad it's still not doing DBA. That would have put me over the edge. Organizing all that shit and then people not showing up for it. And Well, the core people still show up. I'm just talking, to grow it. Don't have to worry about that shit no more. But because of that, I got a really bad attitude about people that are retired or semi-retired that ask me to do more and more. Like, I'm gonna do what I'm willing to do, and that's all I'm gonna do. Because I did more before, and people didn't show up for it. So I'm gonna do what I want to do. What I fucking want to do. If that coincides with what you're looking for, cool. If not, well, that's you do it. Aha. A little premature. I don't think I need to lay anything heavy on these. This epoxy works pretty darn good. Let's just put it over here off to the side. So, it just turned into I don't want to do anything on my free time that I have to do at work constantly. And there's no end to having to do it at work. So, explaining shit to people that don't listen. I'm like, I'm not interested in that. This is the end of March. In 1 month, I'll have been at this place for 30 years. So, yeah, I'm not. I don't want to explain that to people. Argue with people, not interested. Writing emails I'm not interested in writing emails. I do enough writing. I'm not going to do shit for free that I got to do at work. That I've had to do at work for years. Being rushed, F that. I got to get this done for a convention. No, I don't. And now when I go to a convention, I have zero responsibilities. Perfect. Now this one, I will lay some heavy bastard on top of it. I know just the heavy bastard to lay on top of it. This Stug, which is unbearably heavy. Do Employee of the Year awards for your work? Nah, who cares? Just who cares? Well, a whole bunch of that went to waste. More problems. Fuck it. Stuff lasts long enough as it is. Okay. And then once we're doing this, I think we're at a stopping point for the night. Because tomorrow's a work day and a long one for me. Regardless of when I get my shit done, it's got nothing. It actually has nothing to do with me. So it's gonna be a long one. Might as well not even rush. Okay. What do you got that's heavy as shit? This elephant? This elephant's pretty damn heavy. Ferdinand. Sorry, that one's a Ferdinand. Okay, so this is the group that when we come back next time, we're going to put the grass on all these guys. And it can be gone from here. They have left this area. And let's put these back to the baggies where they belong. Because unfortunately, I have to store these horizontal. It hasn't been an issue, but there's some kind of a spill. I don't want this crap over the inside of the container. You know, the one thing I'm not excited about painting are half tracks. I'm not excited about painting German half tracks. Why? Because of the numbering system is just like, you know, I just feel like I got too much. There's just not enough knowns about them. That doesn't mean I won't. I'm just not really excited about it. You know, I mean, they look cool. They're gonna look cool. I'm just not excited about them. Mm-hmm. Thought I had one of these wheels, but it was missing. Well, we can put a big. Here it is. And of course, this one fell off before I sprayed it, so it's not. We'll give that one little piece of a wash there. Make it all look good enough. Was the Ferdinand a tank killer? It was technically a Jagdpanzer. I believe it was called Jagdpanzer Tiger is what it was. It's a tiger bottom. The Panzerjägers tend to be lighter armored. The Jagdpanzers tend to be heavily armored, just no turret. You know, something like a Panzerjäger 1. You know, this is not a Jagdpanzer, it's a Panzerjäger. So it's semantics, but okay, folks. Well, thanks for stopping by.